Got
All
it.
right. Hey there, y'all. Welcome. Today I have Roz Johnson with me. Roz is about halfway through my 16-week Weight University program. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about where she was, when she started, where she is today, and what's been kind of useful and helpful to her. So welcome, Roz.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. All right. Can you tell folks when we started working together, where kind of were you in your weight loss journey? What was going on?
Um, I was stuck. Actually, I was heavier than I had been for a very, very long time and couldn't seem to get moving. And I needed help with figuring out how to get that momentum started, and nothing else was really working for me. I was doing Weight Watchers for a while, which is a great program in its own right, but it just wasn't working for me this time. So I needed something a little different. And chatting with you, I decided that your program was probably exactly what I needed.
Yay, which is what everyone should think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not everyone, but all right. And then at the halfway mark, where are you now?
I am down about 8 pounds, which I think is pretty
Yay.
remarkable. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your help. One of the things that I loved about your program was it allowed me to slow down a little bit and think before taking an action, and also evaluate why I'm doing what I'm doing or was doing.
Hmm.
Why did I gravitate towards something? Why couldn't I do something? And also in the very beginning, you asked me what I could tolerate. So you wanted to design it for me.
Hmm.
So I have a bike at the house, and you came right out and said, well, how many days do you think you can get on there? What can you tolerate? What, and for how long?
Hmm.
So we customized a plan that actually worked for me, and I got back on my bike 4 days a week. I got back into some weight training 2 or 3 times a week. And you just kind of lit the fuse and got me moving again, got me into a routine
Yay.
again. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, how is this program different? I know you mentioned Weight Watchers. There's probably other things that you've tried in the past. What would you
hmm
say is the big difference between this
hmm
program and what you've tried in the past?
Well, I really like the personal one-on-one sessions that we have, because what we do, and each client might be a little different, of course, but what we do is talk about the week and how did everything go. And I take a lot of notes. I keep a file from all of our sessions so I can reflect and keep building my little library of resources that I need. So we talk about the week and we talk about how to move into the next week, and you bring a lot of logic to it. You bring science, you bring proven science into it. And instead of saying, here's a menu, make sure you eat chicken, beans, and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you give like simple tips that I can easily digest, pun intended. I'll be here all day. Um, One of the things that we recognized early on was that I wasn't drinking enough water. And you asked a simple question, well, where's your water bottle? And it was behind me,
Mm.
not in front of me. So
Mm-hmm.
just moving the location of my water bottle at work caused me to up my water intake. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like processing the thinking of what, when, why, how. We've talked about a lot of planning. Planning is a big thing
Mm-hmm.
for me, and that's been one of my key takeaways as well. There's so many simple things that you've given that are
Mm-hmm.
different, that I think are programmed to just make, and it sounds so generic, but it's a big deal to make you think. You
Yeah.
make me think about why I'm having that urge. How do I feel if I imbibe on that bag of chips? How do I, you know, how am I feeling before, what's driving it, and how am I feeling after, so that I can change the
Mm-hmm.
behavior? And it's
Yeah.
worked, and I'm losing weight.
Yeah. And I think most programs, because I've done a couple, and again, right, like no shade, if somebody loves a certain program and it's working for them, great. But a
Sure.
lot of the times, those are very much focused only on what we're doing. And what we're doing is important. But if we're doing it to like try to hate ourselves skinny, to try to like, we're doing cardio to punish ourselves because we were bad and ate something, the energy with which you do the thing makes a difference and goes a lot towards it being sustainable. What I'm really trying to help clients with is like little tweaks that are not painful and that are sustainable. So it's not, oh yeah, I did that for 3 months. I lost 30 pounds and then I gained it all back because I stopped, drinking the magic potion or,
Right.
doing the thing. Right. So that's another thing that I want to be sure to communicate to folks. I had a photographer ask me today. She's like, well, if you ever need anybody to get together with you and take pictures of your products for your website, I'm like, yo, there's no
You
products.
have to
I
get in
think,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think products are part of the problem, right? Because we're not going to eat products forever. And products are not like, you know, over the course of human history, people were lean and healthy before food products were invented. Maybe not the king, but the average person did not have like the means to, right? So it's not, people were healthy because they were taking this supplement and then they stopped and they gained weight. It's usually not a problem of not consuming enough things. It's a problem of consuming different things and trying to get some food in it that has some life to it too. And you were really good about that before we even started working together. You do a lot of like lean fish, healthy vegetables, healthy fruits, healthy grains. So you already had that piece dialed in. But I think that's important for people to know too, is I'm not like selling, there's no MLM behind the scenes. It really is.
No.
Yeah. It's like a be, do, have approach.
Yes, a
Yes.
be do have. I agree. And you also use your whiteboard a lot. That's the other one of the gifts of that. There it is. I see it.
Just off the screen here. Yes.
Yeah, it's very helpful. Yeah, it's actually very helpful because that's part of the customization. And I like how you tie in bits and pieces of last week that then bleed into this week and they appear on the board and I'm really, really visual. So
Yeah.
that helps reinforce. And then I'm drawing the same pictures on my end that you put on your board so I can continue to look at those when we talk about the insulin spikes and we talk about how, different times of the day and when it's good and bad and based on the time that you sleep. So I love the customization and I like that there's visual. I like homework. That's my personal preference. So, when I ask for it, you give it. And I've got books that I can read, websites to hit. I go to your site and look at the things you send me, things through email. So there are just so many different ways and it changes the way you're thinking. And I'll say it here, my Ripple potato chips were, my God, I mean, they were as valuable to me as golden as water, like Ripple potato
Wow.
chips.
Yeah.
Now I can walk up and down the aisle because of you and you're helping me. I literally walk up and down that aisle when I go into the market deliberately to prove to myself that I don't need them anymore. I
Yeah.
don't buy them. I don't touch them.
So
I don't even
good.
think about them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it changes some of the wiring.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. If you can kind of get rid of the cravings, right? Again, back to the mental, and then it manifests in the physical. Instead of, with other programs, you're having to resist the chips or only count out 8 chips or whatever it is. If you just get to a point where you're like, chips are overrated, I think I'm over them. That's the way I am. I'm not there with chocolate yet, but that's the way I am. I stopped drinking a couple of years ago and it just kind of lost all appeal to me because it was like, I see what my life is like without it. I see what my life is with it. I might want it in the moment, but I know where that train goes. And it's the same thing with the Ripple chips. We know where the chips train goes and it doesn't go to Skinny Town.
And to discover, yes, and to discover that chips have sugar. And I knew that alcohol, I don't drink either anymore because alcohol makes me hungry. But if I hadn't made that connection before we met, you probably would have helped me make that connection that, it takes down some of the barriers of logic and then we do stupid things or not that maybe that's a bad word. Maybe we do less than admirable things and eat less than the best food. So wipe out the alcohol and it helps the weight come off.
Yeah. Makes
So
perfect sense. So,
yeah,
all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and just kind of sharing a little bit about your experience. If you are watching this
my
and you are
pleasure.
interested in learning about my coaching program, jump on my calendar, lisaduke.net/schedule. If none of those times work, I still don't quite have the sync working. If none of those times work, shoot me an email, lisa@lisaduke.net. We'll jump on a Zoom call, talk about where you are now, that before piece like Roz and I talked about, and then where you would like to be at the end of the program. And then we'll work together to close that gap and to get you there. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all later.
Bye.